I don't know why I had that popped up over there. So we're just hanging out. We're sitting here. It's only like 4 minutes before the presentation, and I'm just sitting here, just talking, and saying hi. Hi. Now, why isn't my chat showing up again? Why? Oh, why? There we go. There's the chat. We're good. So yeah, this is a not Warhammer preview from the G Dubs on a whole bunch of stuff that is not Warhammer 40,000 related, not like related. It's not like cousin or something like that, but it's definitely not 40K related. Although they have some. What is it? Yeah, here. Let's just go over here. Let's just do it here. Yeah, here. Fine. So you can see we are looking at Age of Sigmar, Horus Heresy, Warcry, Underworlds, and Old World. All Warhammer relate. Well, Horus Heresy is sci-fi. Everything else is like the high fantasy stuff. But yeah, I mean, like, should be fun. Should be interesting. I'm kind of curious as to, you know, what we're gonna see. I mean, Age of Sigmar, I imagine it's probably gonna be a lot of the Dawnbringers arc expansion narrative for the season. Last year it was what a lot of the Thondia and all that stuff. So I imagine we're probably gonna get a new realm look at a realm. I mean, Dawnbringers. It's I can't remember what the hell it's where it's supposed to be taking place, but yeah, Akia, Akash, something like that. Akia. Anyway, yeah. So we're supposed to be getting that kind of stuff. I'd imagine that's what the Age of Sigmar stuff is going to be related to. It's going to be all Dawnbringer stuff. Horus Heresy. I have no idea what it possibly could be. Ghost of Starman. Hey, Kris. Must be pretty early for you. It's only about 2 minutes to 9 a.m. So it's it's decent time. It's decent time. It's not like it's not like that one preview where it was like 5 in the morning or something for me, and I was like rubbing my eyes still and everything. Yeah. It's not that bad. I imagine for you guys, what it's like afternoon for you? Yeah, it's afternoon. So yeah, Horus Heresy. I have no idea what they're possibly doing. Oh, I gotta move my mic. That's probably why you guys probably can't hear me all that well. Oh man. Anyway, yeah. So Horus Heresy, I have no idea what is going to be in this preview. Warcry, I'd imagine we're going to be looking at the new seasons of Warcry and probably get like probably a couple looks at some of the new war bands coming out, and then as well as I'd imagine on Warhammer Community this week will probably give us all these roadmaps and everything like that. Warhammer Underworlds, man, we're into a new season of that. New 2-player starter set came out recently for that. We also had a couple other war bands. What's the other expansion that just came out? Excuse me, man. I got a fresh fresh mug of coffee. I'm ready to go here. Ready to go. Not really ready to go. And Old World, the Old World, I have no idea. Yeah, Warhammer Underworlds. What the hell was the last expansion? It was the things, the things with the things. Oh man, I gotta move this window. I can't read my chat here. Jamie, hi Kris, hi. Ghost of Starman, looks like Epic 30K from Vid GW posted earlier, but we shall see. Yes, Epic Horus Heresy. Is that what we're going to see for Horus Heresy? Is that the misdirect for that? That's possible because yeah, we just got that video this morning of Horus Heresy, but everything's really small. Now, I think it's really cool if they do bring back Horus Heresy. And in fact, with this whole wave of nostalgia we've had in the last couple of years, like it seems like in the last 6-7 years, it's been a lot of nostalgia based releases from Games Workshop, a lot of looking back, right? And even the articles that you see on Warhammer Community. I don't know if everybody follows Warhammer Community, but with the Warhammer community, there has been this series of articles, 40 years of Warhammer in general, right? Celebrating, obviously Games Workshop and, the length of time Warhammer has been, part of the popular culture, right? Excuse me, man, I'm something down here. I don't know why, for whatever reason, sometimes in my office and everything like that, I get it's kind of dusty. My dryer and everything like that, I have a dehumidifier, and it's my basement, right? So I'm in a cellar. I'm hiding in a cellar, as it were, when I film this stuff. So yeah, it's very interesting that, with all the nostalgia we've been seeing with everything, as far as releases, especially with the 40K stuff, looking back, even with the new Leviathan box, right? The Screamer Killer, that was the original Tyranid Dreadnought, right? And now it is, it's back into the regular lore of Warhammer, right? And so I imagine with a lot of stuff, which means that possibly we see, Mission Impossible. Man, I can't stop freaking coughing. Oh, shit. How is that so loud? I just turned it down to 2% and that thing was loud. Freaking Amazon. Ghost. I'm hoping to see, we'll see the plastics for the Mark 6 Assault Marines that they showed us a couple months ago. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, close combat arms for the Mark 6. And everybody loves the Mark 6 armor. Again, throwback to the original days, right? So with the Epic, yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised that if we see Epic 40 or Epic 30,000, or just calling it Space Marine, or playing on some other, like calling it Adeptus Astartes, right? Something along those lines, right? And yeah, just being Space Marines, bunch of little tanks, and it's just Space Marine on Space Marine combat, because that's what the original Epic, when it first started, Space Marine, it was just Space Marine on Space Marine, and it was taking place during Horus Heresy. And same with Adeptus Titanicus. Titanicus was just the Warlord Titans, right? Because it was taking place during the Heresy. So the Heresy is kind of a drawback to the good old days of Warhammer. All right, presentation starting. Here we go. Hopefully you guys can hear this. I know last time we were doing this, it wasn't quite capturing everything.
Very busy time for Warhammer 40,000 in the last few months, as you might have been aware. So what we're doing with this preview is we're basically going to look at everything else. So Warhammer is a huge, great hobby.
Put my mug right up here. Really, Warhammer's had a lot of attention? I don't know. I feel like it's had just enough attention. Come on, Eddie, quit teasing us here. Let's go. Eddie. Eddie. Excuse me. Frick. Eddie, I'm not telling you where I am. I'm on a VPN. I'm on a VPN. You can't find me. You can't find me. Yeah, not allowed to talk about 40K, man. Woo, it's kicking off. Yep. Ghost, I think they might bait and switch us and squeeze in 40K reveal right at the end. Yeah, they might. They might. It's entirely possible. Eddie. All right, Eddie. I'm turning the boys down a bit because I can barely hear myself think, and if I can't hear my own voice, I lose interest, right? Because it's all about me. So it's all about me. All right, so Epic. Do we see a preview for Epic? Possible. That's possible. Because, I mean, we got that little snippet today on the Warhammer community site. So, yeah. But I'm excited. Now, Titanicus, I mean, when I heard Titanicus and everything like that, I was very, very excited. And all the models in it are fantastic. I love the scale of everything. They would get me, though, right into the game. I would be head over heels into the game if they had Xenos. I collect Eldari. I'm a devout Eldari collector. And, you know, I have it for Aeronautica. I have it in Forge World stuff. I play Apocalypse. I used to have Epic. Fuck. Fucking hell. But yeah. Towel here. Jeez Louise. Anyway, yeah. But yes, Xenos, like, they need Xenos. They need Xenos. They need Orcs. They need Eldar with the Imperium, right? That was kind of the original trio in Warhammer, right? It was humans, like, which was Space Marines with some Astra Militarum, and it was Eldar and Orcs. And it was the three of them, and life was grand. It didn't need any extra children in it. It didn't need Necrons. It didn't need Tyranids. No, screw that. They were around. They were around during the beginning, but the game was Space Marines, Eldar, and Orcs. That was the trio. That was the StarCraft arrangement, if you were. Ghost of Starman. I feel like we could see anything today, to be honest. Yes, 100%. I have like next to no idea. I mean, Age of Sigmar, I'm thinking it's going to be a lot of Dawnbringer related stuff. Oh, here we go. Okay, never mind. Enough gum flapping for me. Very nice. Oh, look at these guys. Oh, yeah. I like that some of the humans have a little bit more girth to them. Oh, wow. Wow. That is cool.
This is the 3 cities, the cities of Sigmar, and some glorious new miniatures on the way. So there is a new launch box to tell you about today, and also an incredible new character. So let's have a look at the launch box first. Some of the models that are in this we've seen before.
So
new things in there as well.
So this is a new faction, right?
We've seen with some of the other really significant major army releases for Warhammer, Age of Sigmar, and Warhammer 40,000.
I like that they're not a direct rip of like Empire from the old world. They have enough different flavor to them that, you know, they don't feel like they're just simply the Empire brought to Age of Sigmar.
Indeed, and there is a few that we haven't seen before, so you'll notice there in the middle. No, it's all right. Move on. So yes, so this is the Free Guild Marshal and the Relic Convoy.
Yeah.
Get to be, you know, top dog.
One in the picture in the middle, that looks like an anime character with the 2 guns and the hairdo.
These guys are the best.
Best of the best, with honors, sir.
Don't go out into the mortal realms and survive to become a marshal unless you are an exceptional warrior and leader.
The guy on the far right, he looks like he's hiding something behind his shield.
Obviously, this is a character that you can make your own. You can decide the storyline for them. You can choose if they're going to have pistols, have they got a helmet, have they got a great sword, shield, great hammer.
Well, if he's a marshal, I mean, the far right or the left one feels more, you know, like a commander.
They come along, as you can see there, with a little head in the box. So that tends to be
Get a little head.
The family's ancestors that has a bit of experience, and they've been a series of
Ghost, most of mine are fine for me, but that lion lady is sick. Yeah. I think from when they showed us before, it looked like you might be able to give him 2 swords. Oh, really? Yeah. That's cool.
Well, we have seen this model before, so let's move on and see what else we've got. So this model is brand new. Yes. The Alchemite Warforger.
What is with these names? I like the model, though. That's cool. I mean, plenty of opportunities for some OSL here, for sure, right? I like that cloak, too. I like the way that was painted. It looks like, you know, like a dirty leather. Yeah, Ghost of Starman, gotta be copyrightable. Yeah, that's true. It's gotta be copyrightable. I mean, just throw random fucking words together? Yeah, it's copyrightable. Yeah, I like this guy, too. Yeah. Very easy to KSify? Yeah, definitely. Yes. That head, 100% you could KSify it, right? Even that little icon on the end of his little pinchers there. easily could be, you know, 8 points of chaos kind of thing. Yeah.
See the building.
Yeah.
There's almost like a welder's helmet.
I like it.
Very cool. Like,
It's a cool looking figure.
but a very interesting
No idea what he does or what it's for, or what the background is, but it's cool. I mean, you can't deny it's cool. See, I thought it was a staff
Very cool.
with that little cube at the end, but I think it's pinchers, like metals pinchers, like blacksmith.
Full unit.
Steel helms. Yeah, I get it. Steel helms. Decent name, Free Guild Steel Helms.
These guys are
I like the banner. Oh, look at the dude on the far right. Oh, he's cool. Great Chief. Hey, big guy. Hey. What's up? Hold on, wait. Hi.
So we've got the herald there on the left, and as you can imagine, walking into battle with both a trumpet and a banner, not holding a sword or shield.
Hold on, the guy in the middle. He is the Warhammer. Is he the Warhammer in the Age of Sigmar? He's the Warhammer.
They also tend to have an emblem of one of the settlements that is yet to be founded. So it's essentially a promise that this unit will found.
That's kind of interesting.
And then we've got the battle priest over on the right hand side.
Oh, that's what he is? The battle priest? Okay. I mean, I assumed as much because he's got that little standing there with relics and skulls and, you know.
In the past that the skulls of martyrs have become a bit of a diminishing resource, whereas a martyr has many other things: broken swords, shields, bits of armor, pinky bones, that sort of thing.
What about the penis bone? Do they collect the penis bone? Has that been a known thing for religious icons? Oh yes, we have the saint's penis bone. Everybody else out there? No, the penis does have a bone. That's why it's called boners. Come on, people. Yeah, I know. We're only like 15 minutes into the stream and already I'm on penis boners. Penis boners as opposed to the other boners. Well, I guess, yeah, lady boners. Yeah, look at these things. Oh, look at the guy on the right. Oh, man. Free Guild Cavaliers. Huh. Oh, I like the banner, too. So I imagine that little diamond shape everywhere you see, like on the armor and the flags and, you know, stuff like that. I imagine that's somewhere for you to, you know, freehand in a symbol or put a transfer down. Ooh, look at the battle tome. Ghost. Fun fact, a lot of mammals do have bones in their dicks. I believe apes are actually in the minority in that regard. Some dried up old dick bone? Yeah. I mean, you know, like, how come they don't have Saint, you know, Sebastian's dick bone on display in some Vatican, right? I'm just asking. I'm just asking questions here, people. Just asking questions. Lots of icons that they're going to have for this thing, eh? Oh, this thing is fantastic. Look at this. This is amazing. It's got a fucking giant scorpion tail.
So, to a degree, people kind of refer to her as a bit of a queen of Hammerhall, but in reality, she's the first marshal of Hammerhall.
And this is what? Supposed to be like a manticore?
Again, she's achieved her position through merit.
Oh, these fucking ads, I swear to Christ. Hold on, I'm going to get rid of that ad. Can I use my thing? Yeah, there we go. Get rid of that bullshit. There we go. I just used my Prime just to get rid of that shit. Yeah, this thing is freaking cool, man. Love that lion head.
If you're sometimes there's a model
Like this is
so
that's
nice,
just
it
fantastic
going back
sculpting.
to what army that's in.
Again,
That army, because that model is just
I mean, not to harp on the same
absolutely
goddamn
knockout
points I've made before, but
that you can
like,
build the whole place.
you know,
It's gonna look incredible.
Warhammer 40,000. Are we getting this kind of stuff from Warhammer 40,000?
Just for a gaming piece,
Like,
which is
are we getting this kind of level of artistry? Like, this stuff is awesome. This is the kind of thing I'm talking about when I compare Age of Sigmar to Warhammer 40,000. We get this amazing looking stuff. Warhammer 40,000, it's kind of falling, I think, in my opinion, the same way that Fantasy Battle went away because you just couldn't introduce any fun things to it. And everybody would resist it and just, you know. Whereas this thing here, like this is fantastic. This is amazing. No, this is awesome. Like Warhammer 40,000, like I don't know if it's separate teams who work on Age of Sigmar and Warhammer 40,000, but they definitely need to bring some of these people on board, or they need to start letting fucking the designers, you know, have some fun in Warhammer 40,000 with some of these designs. It's like your hands could touch anything but themselves. Ooh, ooh.
And then she's got the hammer of zeal. So this is formally a weapon called the Warmaker from the corrupt treasurer Vernalius. But whilst it does inspire a lot of people because it's got a bit of a holy element to it.
Yeah, that's really cool. I like this model. This model is freaking cool, man. Honestly, though, you know what this does? It tugs on my fragile heartstrings for Bretonnians. But look at this thing. I like the unhelmeted version. It just looks heroic as fuck. Great Chief. I think the model looks like this make me like Sigmar better than 40k. Yeah, like from a design and model perspective, 100% I agree that like Age of Sigmar, for whatever reason, you know, there's just so much talent going on there, and I'm not seeing it in 40k. Uh-oh, here we go. Horus Heresy. The Heresy. Oh, this guy. Yeah, we saw a preview for this guy not too long ago, didn't we? He's plastic now, right? Yeah, it's pretty cool. You know why they're taller, right? Compete with Eldar. They feel inadequate next to them, so they had to make the knights taller. Cool looking models though. Coming soon in plastic. 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 Fantastic. Pretty cool.
First off, we have Knight Acheron. What do you know about Knight Acheron?
So the Acheron is essentially a terror weapon. Armed with its Acheron flame cannon and a Reaper chain fist, it's basically deadly and terrifying. Their speciality is basically extermination. And their presence on the battlefield basically means no quarter's going to be given.
For how tall he is, doesn't his feet look a little bit small? You know what they say about small feet, right?
Because they tend to do it in
And like, as far as a chain blade is concerned, like having them side by side, like, is that more likely to be effective than just one powerful one? Because I mean, like personally, I know, you know, from chainsaws, like, you know, you put them right next to each other, like stuff gets caught between the two, you know, whirling blades, right? So I don't know. Again, the designs of Warhammer 40,000 and, you know, in sci-fi and stuff like that are ridiculous, and they don't make a lot of sense anyway, right? So yeah. Ghost of Starman, any luck we'll see Bretonnia later today? Yeah, maybe. I think there are some other Forge World Knight patterns. Ooh, maybe. Great Chief, me likey, yeah. Ghost. Well, they say small feet, small guns, but they're clearly not true. Yeah, I like the dual Gatling guns. That's cool. Castigator? For getting castigated? Honestly, the small feet is kind of... I can't see past it. I can't see past the small feet. I mean, they might as well put hooves on them. Now, these kits, when they were originally from Forge World, they were a combination of Knight and resin, right? Or was it entirely resin? I don't know. I've never seen them or never assembled one. Never worked on one. Belt feed you. Now, see, how come he's got the dual guns, great big belt, and he's got a big backpack? Yet we don't see that for like the assault cannon Terminator, right? Where does the Terminator only has one box of ammo? He's gonna burn through that in like 20 seconds. Then what? He's just gonna run around punch everybody? Like, that doesn't make a lot of sense. I know, sci-fi stuff doesn't make a lot of sense. At least with fantasy, you go, oh, it's magic. With sci-fi, it's like, ooh, it's science. Like, no, well, the science part of it is it's got to have some sort of basis in logic, no? Great Chief, gonna have to pass on Horus Heresy. I'm already involved in too many systems for my taste. Ooh, jumping into the underworlds. Some underwear. Let's do it. Scavin. I'm guessing Skaven are coming. Fanatical worshippers of disease. Of decease. Nice. Now, I'm sure these sculpts are going to get all the Skaven fans excited. Why? Because they're new Skaven sculpts. He's really cool looking. I like that. Skabbix Plague Pack? Say that 10 times fast. Weird Hollow, that's it. That's the name I was trying to remember before. Weird Hollow. It was Gallo Dark. And, yeah, no, not Gallo Dark. That's the spaceship. Gnarlwood, that was it. Fuck. Yeah, those are all cool looking. I like Buddy with the two rusty blades. That's hilarious.
All the best.
The Buddy with the two blades. He's like, come on, I'll stick it to you. You know, that's hilarious. It's hilarious. Diseasey sticky. What? I like the way they painted the crystal on the end of his staff, too. That's kind of cool. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
For a little bit before we dive into the rules.
Great Chief Rats again. Gotta admit though, I love the Underworld models for their uniqueness, even if they suck at Big Hammer. Yeah, I mean, you know, models in Warhammer Underworlds, fantastic. Yeah. Probably should just get into Warhammer Underworlds, really. Especially if you have more of a competitive type of gameplay, because Warhammer Underworlds is set up
The
for
new models are great.
competition.
The detail on some of these is really lovely. So you can see things like extended fingernails, like longer than other Skaven because they've kind of let them grow long. There's kind of weird, gross rat priests. Lots of kind of cool flowing gas effects coming out of the.
Yeah,
Sets
I like the
that-
smoke.
that I don't think we
I like the way they painted it
And
too.
then the miniatures.
Excuse me.
To rank up.
Yeah, that's really cool. Oh. Skabbik's Plague Pack. Very, very cool. Ghost of Starman. I like these guys a lot. Yeah, I like them too. I'm not a Skaven collector. I'm not excited about Skaven, little ratmen. I personally, I don't care for rats, like the actual animal. So, you know, I don't see the appeal of these little fellers. But these models look pretty damn cool. I like the paint job. I like the sculpts. I like the poses. They're all really fun. I mean, the little rat holding the warp stone, hilarious. I even like the little guy holding the staff with the scroll work on it. Very, very interesting. Like they all have some character to them, which is really interesting. Skabbik. I've been around some people who I've staggered from. It's like they come in and they're like, oh my lord, like, no, left me staggering. I've met a few. Yeah, these are pretty cool. I got to get my Deepkin one finished. I have the Lizardmen as well. I have like a whole bunch of warbands. Yeah, I really got to get more of them done. Maybe fit some games in. Cool. Befouling. Befouling. Now, can you scoot or can you scooch? Scoot and scooch? That's cool. Yeah, they're Skaven. I mean, if you don't know what Skaven are, like, it's like, they're Skaven, and you're like, that doesn't help me. Like, come on, you got to tell me something about these guys. They're Skaven. You know, Skaven are going to Skaven. Mind if I squanch over here? Got a good place to squanch? Yeah, that's cool. Very cool.
Oh, right. Okay, staying in the Mortal Realms for now. That was Warhammer Underworld. We've got a little bit of something to show you from the other skirmish game set within the Mortal Realms.
Oh.
For Warcry.
Warcry. Ooh. Ooh. Ha, baboon. Goddamn baboon. He's cool. Oh, wow. That's cool. These guys are cool looking. Cruel boys. Nice. Nice.
Yeah, so these are brand new Cruel Boys warband for Warhammer Age of Sigmar Warcry.
I like the baboons.
Yeah, really, really cool.
And I don't know what, like the egg. What's that egg?
Is my choice of army currently for Warhammer Age of Sigmar.
Ghost Star. Now these I really like. Yeah, these are cool.
So the
Monster killers?
Hunt monsters and kill them. However, that is not These guys are big on
Go start about the egg is dinner.
massive beast. You send these
Great chief, like you very much. Yeah, me too. I like these. These are cool. These freaking baboons are pretty wild. I think that's a pretty untapped trope in wargaming. I don't know anybody who's had like miniature baboons in their collections. I mean, these aren't obviously baboons. These are some sort of crazy monkey primate thingy, but still very cool. They look like baboons.
They work very well as a skirmishing
Ghost of Starman. Yeah, the babooners would def make for really good generic ape enemies for D&D or something. Yeah. Great chief. Insta buy for me. Yeah. These are very cool. I like them. I mean, we're probably, what, a couple months away from their release, so I don't know. Is there anything big coming out for Warcry? It's been a while. It feels like it's been a long time since we heard anything from the other side other that wasn't 40K. Great chief. Only other baboons are from Nightmare Quest Box. Okay. Interesting. Neck slices? I like when, you know, jobs have, you know, very distinct job titles, you know, so you know exactly like what you're getting into when you apply for the job. Yes, sir. What are you applying for today? Yeah, the neck slicer. Great chief. Now I really want to update of the Warcry Compendium. Yeah. Well, we might get that. You never know. For whatever reason, the goblin holding the egg, he looks familiar. Like that looks familiar. In the Sigmars. Ooh, Old World. Let's go. Let's do it. Old World. Bretonnians. Yeah. This man is overgasped. Love it. Now he looks like a standard bearer. So does that mean we're going to get a unit of these guys? Like a brand new re-sculpted unit? Fuck. Not going to lie. Not going to lie. I'm going to touch myself later. Oh, man. Turning standard bearer. That's a standard bearer. So I wonder if we're going to get a new musician and a new champion. Or he's the battle standard. So he's the big guy. So this is the independent guy. This is not the unit standard bearer. This is like the big standard bearer. Yeah. I'm kind of speechless. I love it. I love the movement and how the horse is kind of going one way, the knight is looking the other way, the standard is flowing nicely. Like, these are fantastic. I still would have, well, I still have all my Bretonnians, but I'd still be rocking my Bretonnians today if they were this level 25 years ago.
Specific heraldry in the placement and the head crest and things like that will be nuanced to that specific knight and his achievements and the
Russ Sandbags, love the look of the old world. Yeah. Great Chief, too bad they're not going to be in an army box. I don't know. Who knows? Yeah, I love all the movement, all the texture. Like, even though, like, this is, it still looks like it could have came out 25 years ago. I like that. And yet, you can tell it's part of their new aesthetic of, you know, designing this stuff. Like, the sculptors. Big, bold areas. You know, lots of places for a painter to paint. I can appreciate that. Yeah. I dig it. I really dig this. I know every time we get these old world previews, I immediately want to dust off my Bretonians. That's it? No, that's not.
I'm only joking. We've got another preview for you guys. So this is.
Oh, Eddie's trying to be funny.
Probably,
funny guy, Eddie. Funny guy.
This is the thing that you might have spotted some teasers on social media in the last couple of hours.
Here we go. Some epic. Bring it on. Do this. Look at that. Oh! Boner. 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 Look at these things. Oh, look at that. Nice. Legions Imperialis.
So, Warhammer, the Horus Heresy.
There it is. It's back. Now this is pod racing. Yeah, exactly.
This is a brand new game at epic scale, set in the Horus Heresy era that will be launching fairly soon.
Fairly soon.
Set, and what you can see on the screen right now is the contents of that.
Oh, really? Oh, this is the whole box. Okay.
This is a really, really exciting thing. This is something we haven't really done as Games Workshop for a very long time. Obviously, we've seen epic scale stuff before in the shape of the Titanicus and Aeronautica, but what we've got now is the ability to fully recreate the grand battles, the epic scale battles of the Horus Heresy with entire armies of tanks and troops and infantry.
Ghost of Starman. Looks like it's not in scale with Titanicus. I don't know. I guess really you'd be able to judge by those Imperial the Warhounds. Make one big fuck off army. Yeah. The Marines seem too big, but hard to say. Yeah. Now, from what I understood a long time ago, because the old epic was 5mm, and apparently this new version that was going to come out was like 8mm. So, yeah. Jamie Whiteside looks very tempting. Oh, I'd say it's definitely very tempting. I like the Contemptor dreads. The other thing to remember too about Epic back in the day, it wasn't in scale. The infantry wasn't in scale with the vehicles, and the vehicles not with the Titans. They weren't all on scale together. It's heroic scale, right? So it's whatever looks cool works. Great Chief. Contrast will be godsend for this. Oh, 100%. Yeah, contrast. One dip of contrast, and you're good to go. To be sure. To be sure. contrast really.
So this is the box
Oh.
set itself.
Oh, oh.
Legions Imperialis. Also comes with the things you need to play in there as well. So you've got the rule book, and you've got those two armies, and that will launch alongside a whole range of
Love it.
things that we ought to use to play the game. So let's have a look at some of these models in detail. We've really zoomed in on these. These models are very, very small. To give you a sense of the scale on these, if you have seen the Titanicus miniatures or the Aeronautica miniatures, these are in the same scale as those. So
Oh, okay.
start referring to this as epic scale. They are not quite the same size.
No, they're bigger.
The epic models that you might.
If I had to guess, that's like a 25 mil base.
Which tended to have a fairly inconsistent size. They are sized exactly in proportion to the Titans and aircraft that you've already seen.
Oh.
In ratio to their size in the Horus Heresy game. So they stand pretty much
Boy,
about 1/4 the height of their Horus Heresy.
Wow, that is so. That is pretty big. Wow.
In there, we've just seen some command squads. These are the tactical legionaries. In that sense, they're about how detailed some of these miniatures are.
They look great.
You can work out what the models are, which is probably more than you could say maybe for some of the
Those are new Mark 6 Horus Heresy era armor. Yeah, you can totally tell. You even have the chain blades. You can even see the ejection port on the bolt gun. Like, that's a ton of detail. And the freaking eyes are painted. I imagine whoever was on the heavy metal team painting this probably went blind painting all these. Stand corrected. Ghost of Starman, yeah. Oh. Hey, we don't have assault marines in Horus Heresy yet, do we? Like with those backpacks? Yeah, I'm willing to bet that those bases are 25 mils.
Here you go, some support legionaries there. So these ones have plasma weapons. I don't know who did the highlighting on those plasma coils, but well done, whoever that was.
Yeah, no kidding.
Stuff. So lots of different unit choices within this box.
Look at that, the Terminators. I can't remember what the hell those suits are called.
And then you get some dreadnoughts. So the dreadnoughts in Legions Imperialis stand a little bit shorter than a Space Marine in Warhammer 40,000.
Really, it's that big.
Opposing, obviously compared to the infantry, but in a game that has.
He's as big as a Space Marine.
And all sorts of stuff.
No. No, that can't be right.
And even some options in there as well.
Because he would be more detailed if that were the case. He can't be that big.
There's some tanks in there too. Loads of really cool different choices. So some Sakharan battle tanks.
Oh.
The tanks are particularly impressive, I think.
Yeah, epic.
Same amount of detail, just size smaller. So, if you have a hard time painting tanks, this is going to be the same, but smaller, so easier.
If you've painted up any of the Aeronautica miniatures or the Titanicus miniatures, you'll get a sense of the scale of the things like the rivets and the sizes on some of these, the level of detail, and they're the same kind of level of
Predators, yeah.
perfection, I guess, as you see on the
Great Chief, I'm guessing at least 32 mil. Yeah, that sounds too big for epic. Like a Contemptor Dread fitting on a 32 mil base. That's pretty darn big. Yeah, that's cool.
Really, really cool looking miniatures. And then the other half of the box, the Solar Auxilia. So
That's
Solar
cool.
Auxilia, for those of you not super familiar with the Horus Heresy, these are the human troops, the Auxilia that have been attached to the Space Marine legions to give them some backup. They're human warriors. By human standards, they're relatively elite, but they're not anything like the same level of Space Marines. They do have pretty good kits, so kind of like carapace level armor. They've got kind of las-based weaponry, some extra kind of special weapons and stuff like that. And vast numbers of them were raised from the solar system, which is where Solar Auxilia comes from, and spread out across the galaxy. But those ones that were with the traitor legions when they
Yeah, this is cool.
a large proportion of those went traitor alongside their
I'm
legions, so they now fight on both sides of the Horus Heresy.
I'm excited.
It was about a fifth of all the
I mean, like,
armaments were made
again,
up of
these guys
Solar
would immediately
Auxilia.
have me just losing my shit over this stuff if they showed Xenos in this scale. Yeah, Russ Emmix. You think they ever do Xenos for Horus Heresy? No. It's when this game branches out from beyond Horus Heresy. Just like Titanicus and Space Marine became Epic 40,000, that's when we'll see that. So, you know, what, 10 years from now? Now, see, with these Solar Auxilia models, I'm having a hard time discerning detail because I'm not familiar with the actual regular tabletop sized models. So I'm not like I can immediately pick out what's what on them. They just look like a little jumble of metallic paint and some little bit of green, you know. I also like that they went with round bases for these figures, and I like their arrangement, how they feel a little bit more kind of just like a group of models, as opposed to like in old Epic where they're in a line or in a square, you know. That's cool. Wonder if we'll see like a 40K version of this thing. Because these things are armed to the teeth. They're pretty cool. Oh, look at that.
Classic stuff.
Lehman Russes. Ghost of Starman, definitely converting the Sentinels into something for 40K. Yeah, like little robots or something, you know? Lehman Russes. Love it.
Loads of different weapon options. You can see a few of them there. You've got standard battle cannon. You've got las cannon, heavy bolters out the front. You've even got some pintle mounted stubbers. So loads of really nice little ways to take these up. You'll notice if looking at these miniatures, they are Horus Heresy era versions of Luminous battle tanks. So there's some subtle differences between their, I suppose, contemporary Warhammer 1000 equivalents. But generally speaking, for the most part, these are the Luminous battle tanks you know and love, and you can have whole swathes of them in your Solar Auxiliary armies if you want.
Very cool.
So this is sort of originally the of the Solar Auxilia.
Yeah, these are very cool.
That were eventually sort of phased out a fair amount for the Lumen Russ because it was a little bit lighter, a little bit more flexible, and better to use.
Yeah. Great Chief. I think it's best to wait for the actual models to arrive to do size comparison. Oh yeah, we're not gonna be able to tell just looking at pictures. I mean, we need comparative, right? Unless, of course, they put out a comparative picture of like what these tanks look like next to the old Epic versus like what it looked like to a 40K model, you know, that kind of thing. Jamie, love the little duder on the stubber. Yeah.
Really, really nice little kits. And then we've got some Titans as well. So Legions Imperialis isn't just about troops and tanks. You can use miniatures that you have from your Titan Legions collection from Titanicus. You can also, although not in this box, use some of the Horus Heresy era versions of Aeronautical planes.
Oh.
Hawks and that sort of thing. You can put them into your armies.
Interesting.
The Warhound Titans that come in the launch box for Legions Imperialis have some new weapons that we haven't seen. Plastic. Yes.
So this is going to make all the Titanicus players buy this box because they're going to want these new weapons for all their Warhounds. Greasy. That's greasy.
There you can see on the right hand side,
yeah.
And incisor pattern melter lance for when a Warhound Titan, a scout Titan, scouty as a Titan can be, needs to take out some heavy armor. But those are not on the bases we recognise.
Yeah, so across the whole Legions Imperialis range of miniatures, you'll notice they have a brand new type of basing. The reason they've got that is basically the models are very small for the most part. So if you have a really thick base,
Yeah.
So you've got nice thin bases, so the infantry doesn't look too out of place.
Yeah.
But to make sure that your Titans match, if you want to, you can base them on brand new Titan bases, which means that they are kind of the same level as the infantry squads. So they look kind of in keeping with the rest of the army.
Love it.
You can absolutely keep your Titans on the bases they're currently on if you already have Titanic army. You can still play with them. Another thing to note about the bases, one thing that's really nice about Legions Imperialis is that it's really well supported, or will be really well supported with terrain offer. So there will be loads of different ways to build up cities and buildings and like create a whole kind of dystopian metropolis for your troops
That's
to
cool.
fight across. And you can even blow up some of those buildings.
Yeah, because you have the Titanicus stuff, all the terrain for that. You have Aeronautica, all the terrain for that. There's not a lot of terrain, but
this is the rulebook for Forest Heresy Legions Imperialis. The rulebook will come in that launch set that we've been showing off. It will also be available separately. So if you want to play Legions Imperialis but you don't necessarily want forces in that box, you can pick it up separately. Although the nature of Legions Imperialis means that you can mix in loads of different factions. So why would you not? Indeed.
Yeah.
A little bit of
That's cool.
favorite Space Marine legion alongside whichever force.
And that's it. Chances are, whatever force you are going to go for, you're probably going to want to include some legions or solar auxilia in it, just to kind of round it out. So the box is a good shout.
We will have lots and lots about.
There's way more stuff coming for Titanicus for sure. Well, for Legionaries. Hiroki, just tuning in now. Is it meant to be a relaunch of Epic? Kind of. This is a relaunch of Epic, essentially, because this is like if you recall when the stuff first came out way back in the day, 40 years ago, it was Titanicus and then Space Marine. Well, now it's Titanicus and what the hell is this one called? Fuck, I can't even remember the name now. Imperialis. Russ Samex, when do you think they'll release 10th edition Apocalypse? I don't know. I don't know if Warhammer 40,000, will do Epic like they are Apocalypse like they did way back in the day. Because really, Apocalypse was for everybody who used to play Epic, wanted to play big scale battles, right? But in 40K. So yeah, it's hard to say, like is Apocalypse really necessary in 40K now? Because you can just take Titans in the regular game whenever you feel like it, really, right? Because they're all Titan rules are official rules now, so you can take a Titan whenever the hell you feel like it. Points allowing, of course, but yeah.
Well, that is Legions Imperialis, and that is our preview for today, guys. So thank you ever so much for
That's it.
joining us.
Imperialis.
Anything you're particularly excited about for the preview today?
Whilst Legions Imperialis is amazing,
Yeah, that Manticore.
I'm gonna shoot.
Frick.
I'm excited about the
Cruel Boys, yeah, Cruel Boys. It was all really good. Like, it's amazing, really, that we can get like all this stuff for Age of Sigmar, like outside of 480K, and yet, fucking really great looking previews coming, There's new old world things. New old. Indeed. Indeed. Bye, Eddie. Alex. See you. Bye. Later. Bye. Yeah, I'm looking forward to a lot of this stuff. Ghost of Starman. Feel like we got baited a little more on the 30K reveals, but other than that, it's a great stuff. You know what? At this point, baited. I don't know about baited. And no, I'm just glad that we got the reveal of what is it? Imperialis Legionaries Imperialis or something? What the hell was that called? What the hell's the new epic called? I can't remember. I'm gonna look. Did anybody type it into the chat? No, nobody fucking typed it into the chat. Nice. Way to help me out, people. Way to help me out. No. Anyway, yeah, it looks great. It looks great. I'm excited. I mean, once we all started getting our hands on it and seeing, and being able to compare the size of the models, yeah. Ghost of Starman. It's okay, Kris. You can call it epic. Yeah, epic. The new epic. Yeah, the new epic looks fun, and I like that the everything we've gotten in Aeronautica Imperialis can fit. Everything that's like Horus Heresy era can fit. I like that Titanicus fits, right? And so this game that's coming out is drawing those two things. And for everybody out there, see, because that's, I think, really one of the things that I think was hurting Aeronautica Imperialis is it has no companions. It's a standalone, right? At least like with Warhammer Underworlds, they have, you can get that little gang, but if you collect Age of Sigmar, you can take that gang and add it to your army because you're more likely to buy a warband that is adjacent to your main faction you play in Age of Sigmar or the other faction, or just look cool to you, whatever it is, right? But at least there was another game to kind of draw you in, whereas in Aeronautica didn't have that. It used to, but now we've got it. So now Aeronautica has the greater part of epic, right? The new epic. What is it? Legions appear Imperialis. Is it just legions? I thought it was legionos or legionus. Anyway, legionaries, Imperialis, Legion Imperialis. I'm just going to try and burn that into my brain now. Legion Imperialis. Okay. Aeronautica has Legion Imperialis. Titanicus has Legion Imperialis, right? So now we have the greater game because Legion Imperialis is going to be that greater whole, right? Greater whole, the greater all-encompassing game. Because now you have Titanicus, where if you want to play just Titan battles, you can do that. If you want to just have air battles, you can just do that. And now you have the greater epic, which will have all the ground and all the troops and, you know what I mean? And fighting the massive scale battles. It's that, right? Now, because it's all Horus Heresy, yeah, it's very specific. And historically, that's how the game started way back in the day. And then eventually they incorporated, and then they actually became more contemporary into Warhammer 40,000, which is the Epic 40,000, which gave us everything else. Now, way back in the day, Space Marine had orcs in Epic, Eldar in Epic, Chaos Epic, Squats, Tyranids. Everybody except, Tyranids. Necron. No, there was no Necrons at the time. Just Necrons. It had squats, but no Necrons. So, But anyway, my point being though is that now with Aeronautica, see, because now I have a lot more hope for a game like Aeronautica because I have a whole bunch of Aeronautica stuff. Haven't really sat down to play much, but I've got some of my patrols painted up. And, I've just been, meaning to get a game in, right? Because I got like Tau, Eldar, have the Imperial stuff. I even have the Space Marine stuff. So, I got plenty of Aeronautica. Now, mind you, a lot of the, Eldar and Tau and stuff like that, they're not going to be in Epic. Oh, Tau, Epic Tau. Man, can you imagine if we had Epic Tau? Ooh, that would be great. So maybe I'll just cryo freeze myself 10 years, come to, and then enjoy everything Epic 40,000 as it were with Epic Tau and Epic Eldar and you know what I mean? And I'll be a happy guy. Maybe that's what I need to do. I just need to crowd freeze myself and then come back and, enjoy my Warhammers again. Ghost of Starman. In time, I'm sure we'll see Legions expand to include 40k and Xeno races, but of course it'll be rely on people buying the minis. Right, exactly. Yeah, like if nobody buys this game, yeah, it's going to be a hard sell to convince, obviously the high ups in G-dubs to, okay, moving forward with these projects and be like, yeah, we lost a shit ton of money on this. So, we're not going to do it. Right. And that's just a straight up business decision. I like the fact that with Legion Imperialis, the scale has changed. Now we heard that rumor ages ago. I remember that rumor. I don't know how closely all you follow rumors and things like that, but yeah, I remember it was a while ago, like years and years ago, that Epic was changing scale. It was still going to be really small, but it was going to be just a little bit bigger. So like Space Marines and stuff, like the little troops, they were 5 millimeters before. You could still make out details, and now you can find pictures of the old Epic stuff out there. And yeah, they're 5 millimeters. Now they're a little bit bigger, and the rumor was that they were going to be 8 millimeters. So it's only a difference of 3 millimeters. So it's about, a little over 50% more on what it used to be. But you combine that with how good GW plastic has been in the last 10 years, and plastic Epic is awesome, because in old Epic, it was a lot of plastics, but there were pewter models. Like I remember a lot of the Imperial Guard, a lot of Eldar stuff was all pewter. Now it can be all plastic, have all that nice, tiny, crisp detail. I mean, you look at, like hell, I mean, I still got this guy sitting on my desk right now. I got to finish this guy. I have this guy, the, what is he, the War Master? Whoop, thing popped off. Nice. Somebody didn't glue that properly. Anyway, I still got this guy to finish. And I mean, like, you look at the plastic and like, you've got like gantry. Like, I like this on his little love handles. It's a balcony in here, and there's a little door with stairwell. You can see that little door right there. You can see a little zigzag right about there. That's a door. And then there's like little stairs and everything like that. And it's this detail, like you're not going to see that because the guns of his arms will take up all that space. You're not going to see that, but the detail's there. And with Epic, that's going to be great. And with so much of Titanicus that has like buildings and stuff like that, easy. You just take that stuff, bring it over to Legion Imperialis, and you have a full table. And because it's all Horus Heresy era, you don't have to really worry about the scale so much, or the buildings, because everything is going to be scaled together. I'm sorry, I'm just going over to the GW sites here. No, box games, Adeptus Titanicus, see all. So yeah, I'm excited. I am excited. Now let's do this one. Fucking things up. Fuck them up. Hey, why isn't my thing showing up here? What the hell is going on here? Oh, there it is. Is that right? That's still fucked up. Anyway, yeah, the terrain. Where's all the terrain? Oi! Thank you, Hiroki, for subscribing. Thank you. Oh, it's gone. What is he? The War Master. Yeah, War Master. That's the type. Civitas Imperialis Spires. Bunch of big buildings. Adeptus Titanicus Manufacturum Imperialis. And it's got like all the things, the things. Yeah, it's got all the buildings and such. There we go. I'm all discombobulated. Anyway, yeah, so you have this kind of stuff, right? So obviously Games Workshop can just start reprinting this and put it out there. Because, they've already done all the hard work. And they've been sitting on this stuff for a while. And I'm sure they're like, you know what? We got to move this stuff because, just taking up space in our store, our warehouses, right? So, right now, at least on the Canadian site, you can't get this stuff, but I'm sure others can. And what was the other one? Oh yeah, this castle-y one. And I'm sure actually, you know what? I've never really checked if Forge World has a bunch of stuff. Now, this is also another plastic set. It's only $50. It's not available. Very, very cool. Oh, you can stack them up. So you can get a bunch of these kits and just stack them all up. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, see, this is some cool stuff, man. All plastic. Damn. You get like 2 or 3 sets of this, you can make a pretty dense little town. Plus with the other set. All right, hold on. Let's go over to Forge World. I'm going to go over to Forge World. Where's the link for Forge World? For fuck's sake, where's Forge World? They don't make this easy, do they? They don't make it easy to get your money, do they? Where is it? Titanicus, all Titanicus. I thought there was terrain for Titanicus. I thought Forge World put out some buildings and stuff. No? I guess not. I'm on Titanicus and I don't see any. It's just a lot of weapon arms and all the armigers and the mechanicum. So I'd imagine with a lot of this epic stuff, epic, I'm calling it epic now. Yeah, even the what is it? The Cerastus? Anyway, you know that Titan they just showed off for Horus Heresy. Got that in this Titanic scale. Yeah. Very, very cool. Great Chief. Those would be perfect for using in Battletech. Oh, the terrain? Yeah, for sure. Russ Sammings, the new knights look really cool. Their rules are okay for 10th. Yeah. I mean, like, what were you expecting? Something to be really overpowered like a Wraith Knight? And then everybody loses their shit about it? Or is it only because, no, it's Imperial, so Imperial needs all the powerful stuff because, why? Because that makes for really boring games. Like, I don't understand sometimes the logic. Yeah, that's very cool. Yeah, so definitely you're going to see a bump in Titanicus stuff. You're going to see a bump in Aeronautica. Like what Aeronautica is pretty slim these days. It's not a lot available right now for Aeronautica. Move everything over there again. You got Eldar, yeah, you got these things. Thunderbolts, Thunderbolts Heresy. Avengers, I think, are, right? Avengers. I don't think Valkyries are. And the Bombers, the Marauders. I think the Bombers are pre-Heresy. Yeah, you got like the terrain like this. Gun emplacements and stuff like that. Like they can easily throw this back into Epic, right? For anybody who's doing up, scenarios. Hell, shit, you could use these as objectives and all sorts of crazy crap. Like, again, you're only limited by your imagination. And I imagine these planes here. I think these are Horus Heresy as well, right? Like these are Heresy era. I think so. As opposed to something like this thing. This thing I think is post Heresy. They have other craft that are better than a Thunderhawk. I don't think these things are in Epic or in Horus Heresy. I think these are a 40k thing. The lore surrounding those planes. These big bastards, yeah, these things are supposed to be around, I think. Pretty sure these things. These things are supposed to be like the predecessor to the Thunderbolt. Something like that. I can't remember the lore. I don't know. Or maybe it was these things. I can't remember. No, these are the lightnings. Yeah. Anyway. All I know is there's not enough Xenos. That's all I can say. Is there's not enough Xenos. Russ Sandbags, who do you think will win the Battle of Ogrim? I'm betting it'll be another Space Marines release. You think it'll be Space Marines? It could be. I mean, I don't know. Honestly, it all depends on how many games get played, and I mean, the Space Marine box. Everybody seems to say that like Combat Patrol and everything like that is kind of OP. Who's playing a big epic battle at that scale? That'd be kind of cool. Yeah, I don't know who will win. It'll most likely be Space Marines. My safe money is on Space Marines. The interesting thing would be is that the world is devoured by the Tyranids, and of course it serves as a lightning rod to the Imperial forces to rally and try and defeat the Tyranids again in this next wave, right? So losing the world is probably more dramatic and better storytelling as opposed to the Space Marines winning. And it's like, the Space Marines won, we saved the world, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, Ghost of Starman, not hugely up on the Imperial Navy had access to during the Heresy, to be honest, but I don't think it's a big of a change relative to 40k as the Imperium's terrestrial armies. It kind of is. Like, I know like some of the Space Marine stuff, like I think Storm Eagles are Heresy era. Like a lot of the Space Marine stuff, other than the Thunderhawk, I thought was pretty much all Heresy era or Legion, right? And for the Imperium, yeah, because like Valkyries and stuff like that, I don't think the Astra Military or Solar Auxilia had access to like Valkyries and the other one, Valkyrie and Vulture. But like the Imperial Navy, the Avengers, the Thunderbolt, I thought the Thunderbolt was a contemporary 40k thing. Lightning and the Avengers, they were the Heresy era. I could be wrong though. Don't quote me on that shit. just don't quote me on that. Anyway, that's it for the preview. The previews are done. This was the post discussion. So we looked at what new Bretonnian Standard Bearer. Yeah, Old World. Man, if they manage to weasel out the fact that they're gonna give us new Warhammer fantasy era sculpts, but like contemporary designs and you know what I mean, like sculpting techniques and in plastic and much more dynamic. Yeah, I'd get right back into Bretonnians easily. Ghost of Starman. By the way, Kris, will Way the Brush be on today? No, because this is it. You guys woke me up early for this preview shit, so I'm just gonna take it easy today. I got a bunch of stuff to take care of, so so no, I'm not doing Way the Brush, and because I just don't feel like it. Fairs, yeah. No, I mean, like, because I'm doing this stream right now, and plus I don't have all my lights set up and everything. But I enjoyed the reveals. And I think it came at the right time. Because, a lot of us, I think the last couple months have been so 40k Warhammer 40,000 driven, focused, and to be honest, I was feeling fatigued. I love Warhammer 40,000, but even I was feeling fatigued from all of it. So I'm glad that we had this kind of like a refresher in, oh yeah, there's a whole bunch of new miniatures, bunch of games. It's not all about Warhammer 40,000. We've got all this other great stuff. And we're bringing back another beloved game system, Epic. And they could have just said that. It's coming back. Epic is coming back. They could have just said that and everybody would have lost their shit. But they gave us Legion Imperialis. I think that's what it's called. And I'm excited. For it. It looks good. And I think painting it up, assembling and painting it, you should be able to get that whole box done in like an afternoon. It should be lickety split, barba quick. And yeah, just get it all together and use some contrast paint and you're done. The bases don't even look like they had texture on them because it looked like you could see like the where the figures are standing. There's like a little bump, and I assume that's where that part connects up to the sprue. I imagine the sprue, the frame, that connects up to that point, and the Space Marines are all just sitting like in a row on the frame, right? And I imagine probably that whole army is probably only like 3 frames of models. Hiroki, very refreshing not hearing 40k for once, even though that's all I really hobby and play. Oh man. Yeah. Again, like I said, like I love 40k. I'm a huge 40k nerd. 40k is what really kind of got me into this hobby. I mean, Space Hulk, but it's Space Hulk's 40k. And yeah, I love it, but with the whole Leviathan release and, you know, this whole cycle of generating enthusiasm, yeah, has been exhausting. And today is actually very welcome seeing nothing 40K, a little bit of Horus Heresy, but that doesn't really count. And yeah, I'm excited for Bretonnians. I'm excited for Cities of Sigmar. Those Cruel Boys for Warcry look fantastic. The Skaven for Underworlds, exciting. Those sculpts look fantastic. Like, I'm not, like I said before, I'm not much of a Skaven collector or, you know, enthusiast, but those models look fantastic. And it also, and I know, I'm sure Skaven players of Old World and Age of Sigmar are very excited, looking forward to the possibility of new Skaven sculpts, like the new troop, because like the old Skaven warrior, like it's what, one design and you just stack them all up. Like that's boring. That's boring. Give us new sculpts with lots of rats and even like rats crawling on top of each other. You know what I mean? Like just like give us that impression of the Horde moving forward. You know, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. Russ Sandbags, what will be next? Battlefleet Gothic? Yeah. What do you say? What do you think? If Epic is successful, bringing back the Epic, because yeah, you know, I mean, honestly, with Old World kind of making a return, do you think we see Man of War? I think we could see Man of War. I think we see Man of War reissued or reprinted or redesigned or redone, redo, whatever you want to call it. I think we see Man of War before we see a Battlefleet Gothic. That's my bet. That's based on nothing. That's pure speculation. I'm not basing that on anything. Not following any kind of trends, no data, no nothing. That's just out of my goofy brain. And yeah, just taking a guess. It's just a guess. But yeah, I think we see a redo of Man of War before we see Battlefleet Gothic. Because again, whatever the Man of War game, because we had that Dreadfleet a number of years ago and that completely whiffed. And I think that's what kind of ruined their enthusiasm for the boat game in fantasy, right? Whereas with the Old World, and they're bringing it back and they're reintroducing some of these ideas and concepts back into Old World, and they're going to bring some of their technology. It's kind of like Games Workshop got a time machine and they're going back in time to, you know, redo some things and do it right. It's kind of like, you know, if you could go back in time and, you know, talk to that girl or whoever, right? And, you know, make that change. And, you know what I mean? Like, it's that kind of thing. So now they're doing it. They're going back to the Old World and going, you know, we're going to do it this way. This should have been part of the army, or this should have been sculpted, or we couldn't do this in the army because of the limitations of the technology at the time. Now they can, right? And so I think we see Man of War before we see Battlefleet Gothic. That's my guess. Ghost of Starman, what games are there left that we don't have modern equivalent for? I don't think Battlefleet Gothic and Inquisitor. Inquisitor's another one. Yes, Inquisitor, another one. Will we see another 54mm game? They could easily do it, right? They could easily do it because now they have digital files of all the figures, or most figures, and all they got to do is just upscale them in plastic, right? And create some posability, more weapon options, that kind of stuff, and you've got it. Like Eisenhorn, the plastic version of Eisenhorn, you just scale him up, 50% or 70%, whatever the hell the scale up is. And bang, he's 54 mil, right? But the thing with Inquisitor and the scale is the terrain. Now you got to have bigger terrain for your battles to take place in. Otherwise, you shrink the scale down and it's not as exciting, right? You kind of want to play Inquisitor like at least on a 4x4 kind of space. Right? Even a 4x4 in Inquisitor scale, that was it, but it wasn't a lot of room. Like, it wasn't getting all that terrain because, again, it's a whole new set of terrain, right? At least with them bringing Legion Imperialis back, Epic, right? There's already things, auxiliary accessories to go along with it, right? So Titanicus and Aeronautica have like terrain that can be incorporated, right? And then also terrain that comes out for Legion Imperialis can go to those other games and make better tables, right? Can you imagine playing more Aeronautica with some of the epic buildings, right? And have the planes flying through the buildings and stuff like that? Like, again, like the possibilities are limitless once you bring back a lot of these core things that inspired these other offshoots that became more popular, right? So, yeah. But Inquisitor, would we see Inquisitor again? I don't know. Games Workshop could also get back more into board games. We see that new Space Marine that's promoting the new video game, of course, and it's all tie-in, right? Essentially, it's all it is just a way to, it's a vehicle for getting people excited about Captain Titus, the miniature, right? And the video game, and, you know, Warhammer 40,000, Space Marines, and you know what I mean? Like, it's all tied in. And yeah, could we see that kind of cross-promotional type stuff, you know, with other board games, right? Could we bring back, you know, Doom of the Eldar, which was a board game from way back in the day, Doom of the Eldar, and, you know, give it a fresh new title, and it's all about, you know, Craft World Iyanden getting attacked, or maybe it's the recent attack on the Beltan Craft World, right? Because that's part of the lore now, is that Beltan has been attacked, and they're greatly diminished. And, you know, maybe that's what we see, a new board game that was, you know, based around that. And it's a board game, so it's like, you know, cardboard counters and maybe little plastic symbols of things, and you know what I mean, that kind of thing. It's not going to be anything that could be, you know, branched out into other games, but it's, you know, one of those standalone games that gets everybody excited about, you know, the universe, right? The lore. So yeah, I mean, Games Workshop getting back into board games, that's a possibility as well, right? I mean, you know, they have a few board games, you know, I mean, some are really, really popular. Space Hulk's a board game, and it's been one of the longest success stories for Games Workshop, I think. You also have Warhammer Quest, right? Warhammer Quest is another long-running game, and it's a board game, right? It's a dungeon crawler, but it's a board game. You know, there's many like that. So yeah, who knows? Who knows? But I speculate, though, we'll see Manowar, or an evolution of Manowar, before we see Battlefleet Gothic, right? Because I don't think, if we saw a reprint or reissue or redo of Battlefleet Gothic, I don't think it would be called Battlefleet Gothic anymore, because that was just telling basically the story of that sector of the Imperium. So I think if they redo it, they'll give us another sector of the Imperium. It'll be, you know, Battle Sector Obscurus or some shit like that, right? It'll be something else, and they'll tell a tale, you know, because with Battlefleet Gothic, did it take place with the Cadian sector in it? Does Gothic have this Cadian sector? Was Gothic completely on its own? I can't remember. But anyway, really, really cool. You know, again, though, yeah, I think with bringing back the old world, I think we could see a return of Manowar. I think we see a return of Manowar. I do, personally. Who knows? Who knows? Who even knows? Banshun, there he is. Feckin' Arc monkeys. Face fusha tongue out. Yeah, those new monkeys for the Cruel Boys. For Warcry. Baboons. Baboons, man. Get some baboons. Have some baboons running around. I just want to have a whole army. Just get all, like, the Jacaro from 40K, the baboons. What other Games Workshop monkeys are there? And we'll just get a whole bunch of the Games Workshop monkeys together. Games Workshop monkeys. Anyway, Ghost of Starman. I hope they bring back Inquisitor. They just do it in the 40K scale, honestly. They could, but then is it just Inquisitor? Like, you know, then is it, because Inquisitor, I know I was kind of busting into Inquisitor was a much more detailed combat system, more akin to 2nd edition 40K. At the time when Warhammer 40,000 and Necromunda coexisted, they were essentially the same rule set, just with some differences. But essentially, it was the same rule set. Inquisitor was slightly different as well. So would we see, you know, like, if you're going to play Inquisitor in a detailed kind of combat system using 40K models, I don't know. I don't know if it would feel like Inquisitor. Inquisitor is a much more detailed combat system. as opposed to the regular 40k stuff. So playing Inquisitor, because I know that there is Inquisitor 40k scale, right? People are playing Inquisitor, but with just the 40k models. So that's already a thing. So what do they do to revitalize that, right? I don't know. Inquisitor, I think if Inquisitor was to make a return, I don't even know. I don't even know like how they would do it. Like, because again, it's a whole new thing. And to stay true to the game, it would have to have a very detailed rule system. Closer to like RPG. Like it's closer to that, you know? Yeah. I don't know. I don't think there's much hope for Inquisitor. But for many, many, many years, Games Workshop said squats were dead. And then all of a sudden, the last couple of years, squats have returned. So, of course, they also said, what was it? Sisters of Battle. Sisters of Battle weren't getting an update. We got new Sisters of Battle. Plastic Thunderhawks. I'm sure that's already been worked on. I'm sure there's a mold out there from Games Workshop. They've already created the tooling for Plastic Thunderhawk. I'm sure they've done it. Ghost of Starman. Inquisitor was gone, or at least all but gone, by the time I joined the hobby, unfortunately. Yeah, Inquisitor, when Inquisitor came out, and I remember a few friends were getting into it, and it was kind of at a point where I was kind of taking a break from the hobby. Because I've done that a few times. I've taken breaks from the hobby. And I think Inquisitor came out around one time when I was taking a break from the hobby. So I didn't really get into Inquisitor. I have Inquisitor models, but I was familiar with the rule set because I watched a lot of games and talked a lot of ideas and stuff. Sophie, damn late. Yes, Sophie, you're damn late. You are damn late. Russ Sandbags, they'll do a Necromunda 2nd edition rulebook. I don't know if Necromunda needs editions. Necromunda is the story of that planet. And they have really... See, early Necromunda was just the one Hive Primus. That was all of the things that were going on in that hive. That was the early version of Necromunda. The recent edition, especially with the addition of Ash Wastes, we're taking the story to the whole planet now. So now there's many hives. Some have fallen, some have risen, right? Plus the wasteland itself, like the story now is not just one hive. Excuse me, man. It's not just one hive. It is the entire planet now. In the future, with Necromunda 5th edition or whatever you want to call it, would it be the entire sector of what Necromunda is? I don't know. I think we're kind of losing the plot at that point. No, I think with Necromunda, they can keep doing it, just telling chapters of the story. Just like Necromunda is a story. And Necromunda, the game itself, is largely narrative. Largely, right? Like when people play the campaign, you're telling a story. Whether you realize it or not, you're telling a story of your gang as you progress through the games and gain credits and lose characters and gain abilities and you're telling a story. Necromunda is largely narrative, and I think Necromunda's player base largely are narrative-minded gamers, which is great. And Necromunda itself is largely narrative. Warhammer 40,000, because it has that competitive side to it, you get a lot of the narrative kind of put to the side. And whereas Necromunda, it's all about the narrative. The scenarios, the craziness, the telling the story of your gang is the point to playing, right? It's not like people pick up Necromunda just to play a game just for gigs. I mean, they do, but that's not really the point. The point is to no, another adventure. What adventure will my gang get into next, right? Because then you start investing yourself personally in your gang. You name all your characters. He's got a new shooting skill. So now I want to get a new weapon, a better gun for him, or maybe, you know, oh, I could get a flamethrower and, you know, do this, or getting grenades, and you know what I mean? And you start detailing your battle plan around your gang, and then that, of course, is telling more of that narrative of your gang. So Necromunda is by far and large the narrative experience within the 40K universe. Inquisitor was like that as well, but it was a much more detailed rule system based off Warhammer 40,000 and the Warhammer 40,000 rules, but it was different. And yeah, it was more closer to the RPG. So could we see Inquisitor scale offsetting RPG Warhammer 40,000 stuff? That would be cool. And that might actually fit better with, you know, what people expect from that kind of detailed game system, right? But again, you're not going to see huge expansions on that because it's not competitive. I mean, you can have competitive RPGs, but who the fuck wants to do that? You know, like that just doesn't sound fun, because RPG is like 99% narrative driven, right? Necromunda, I would say, is 70, maybe 65% narrative. You know what I mean? Like, it's that kind of percentile. Whereas regular 40K is probably, the player base is largely probably like 40% narrative. It's less than half that are narrative. It's probably like thirds narrative, competitive, and, you know, a hobby, aesthetic, right? Just painters. You know, Inquisitor scale though, like 54 mil Space Marines and stuff, that would be awesome. Would be awesome. But I think if they created an RPG that could play in that scale, you know, because again, they're largely symbolic, right? So like, you don't even need to have a table per se. The model just represents your character in the RPG. So why not do that? Why not bring that 54 mil to the RPG and have a campaign system or a quick play system where it plays kind of like Inquisitor used to, and you can also do an RPG, like a proper RPG, pen and paper, with, you know, your little 54 mil model representing your character on a, you know, paper board, right? Or a cardboard board. It doesn't even, like, whatever, right? It doesn't need terrain, because most pen and paper RPGs, you just need a model represent yourself, maybe some enemies, and, you know, that's it, right? And having a layout, because everything else is taking place in your brain. That's the beauty of RPGs, right? It's all up here, and this is the best for cinematic storytelling. You know, that is up here. This is where real magic happens. So, yeah. Anyway, what were we talking about? Russ Sammy, think they'll do a Necromunda second edition rulebook? No. Second edition? I mean, Necromunda doesn't need to be editions. It could be chapters, sure. You know, with this whole Aranthian succession, this is kind of like the new season with Ash Waste and everything like that. That's the new season of Necromunda. It doesn't need additions. The rules are pretty solid. Like the game itself, you know, it's still a play on second edition 40K rules. Like Necromunda, for everybody who likes Necromunda's rules, those are just second edition rules, because Necromunda has always had those roots of just being, you know, a 40K version of the game, just smaller thing. But now with Warhammer 40,000 having, you know, Kill Team, which is the one-on-one unit battles, and it also has now Combat Patrol, which is small skirmish style games. You can also have, you know, 500 point games, 1,000 point games, you know what I mean? And then go up, right? Warhammer 40,000 can accommodate a lot of things. Necromunda is its own thing, and it is largely narrative. It is driven by the lore, which is fantastic. And the lore for Necromunda is great. You know, like the Corpse Grinders. I love the Corpse Grinders. I'm not much of a Chaos character. Well, I used to play Chaos back in the day, but yeah, Corpse Grinders. I love Corpse Grinders. I would love to see more Chaos cults come out for Necromunda. I'd like to see a Slaanesh cult. I'd like to see a Nurgle cult. I mean, Poxwalkers, stuff like that. Sure, right? It's kind of a Nurgle cult kind of thing. But, you know, Tzeentchian would be another good one. Tzeentch, I could see something that is kind of like a mixture of Delac and something else, being a Tzeentchian type of cult, you know. Nurgle. What does the Nurgle cult look like? You know, And like, where do they fit? Where do these cults fit within Necromunda, right? Like corpse grinders, they were the people who were working the mulches, right? They were working the mulching machine, the corpse starch machines. If cultists were to develop with Tzeentchian type tendencies, I'd imagine they'd be administrative, right? That's typically. Nurgle, healthcare. Would they be the healthcare workers? That's possible, right? Slaanesh, red light district. I mean, that's your first impression, but I mean, you could probably think of something better. Hell, a Slaanesh cult would most likely be the aristocracy of Necromunda. You know what I mean? Like, they're the only ones who, like, the Spires. The Spires are really the Slaanesh cult of Necromunda. Oof. You know? Sophie, with Necromunda, they might do new gangs or odd character. It's Kevin. What? Some new vehicles and terrain. Oh, minus even some new vehicles and terrain. Yeah. Necromunda, it just needs narratives. It just needs scenarios. And yeah, introduce new gangs. Yeah, there's plenty of opportunity to introduce new gangs. I mean, we had like the Ironhead Prospectors. They're squats. They're part of Necromunda, because we're outside the hive. We can have and introduce all sorts of craziness, right? Like the Ashwaste Nomads. That's a brand new thing to Necromunda. Although I feel like it kind of replaces the Ratskins. But that's fine. Because Ratskins can still be part of the universe as well. I would like to see a return of Ratskins to Necromunda. What else? I mean, you could throw in Corsairs, Eldar Corsairs. Eldar Corsairs can totally be part of Necromunda. Ashwastes, or, in some far future story in the, in the universe. Right off the top of my head, why would there be Eldar Corsairs on Necromunda as a gang, as a playable faction within the universe? Why would they be there? Okay, right off the top of my head, here you go. Okay, Games Workshop, if you're listening, you guys can use this. Eldar Corsairs, or some Eldar-like unit. They don't have to be Corsairs. It could be something new. It could be something brand new to the invented. But imagine, okay, somewhere on the planet of Necromunda, there is a webway gate. And the Eldar have secretly been guarding it. There's a faction of Eldari on the planet who have been charged with watching over this gate, because where the gate goes, who knows? Could be to the Black Library, could be to a particular craft world, could be into the Eye of Terror. Who the hell knows? Doesn't matter. It's a MacGuffin. It's all to just drive the story. In fact, leaving it a mystery as where the webway gate goes is all better, because who knows, right? And it's a reason to play games. So you have somewhere out in the ash wastes a zone that the underhivers, the hivers, have just kind of avoided for the last 10,000 years, right? They just don't go into this area because everybody goes into the area, disappears. Why'd they disappear? Because there's fucking Eldar there who are guarding an ancient webway gate, or an ancient artifact, maybe one of the engines of Vol, or something like that. Like anything, it can be anything Eldar related, part of their lore, because Eldar have been all over the galaxy, and they stashed out weapons and things like that in their war in heaven. So there's weapons all over the place, or webway gates, or whatever you want it to be. And there's Eldar on Necromunda, and they've always been there. They've just been hiding, keeping it secret, and they've just been keeping this doorway safe. Now, why Eldar don't destroy these things instead of having people, guard it for centuries, I don't know, but, that seems to be the trope, right? So, yeah. You can have Eldar in Necromunda. You can have any of the factions. You can have Tyranids. You can have the new Tyranids on Necromunda. Genestealer cults, you definitely could have in Necromunda, right? Do they have Genestealer cults in Necromunda? Like, is there rules for them? I don't even know. The idea escapes me. For me personally, I think Necromunda peaked when they brought in corpse grinders and introduced the concept of a complete hive being destroyed and everybody murdered. Like I was like, oh my god, like Dark Uprising, man, that is so dark, like, and grim for Necromunda, that a whole hive can just be lost. That's like, you're talking hundreds of millions of souls gone up, poof, you know? So Necromunda is really dark, and it can really get you into the life of Warhammer 40,000. What life is like for humans in Warhammer 40,000. And it's grim, it's dark, as it should be, as Warhammer 40,000 is, right? There are no heroes in Warhammer 40,000. Sophie, for Eldar, they crash and have to survive. Sure, they crashed, right? Sure. But why would they be there for centuries? I don't know. They don't have to be there for centuries. They could be just brand new, right? And it's just an excuse to bring in new Voidsguard Corsairs or whatever, you know? Hell, for God's sakes, people would lose their minds. Here we go. People would lose their minds if they looked like Exodites. And in fact, like the Ashwaste Nomads, who are completely covered and we don't know what they look like, right? Exodites. And they're Eldar riding around bugs and beetle things and millipedes and, you know, riding flying bat things, and you know what I mean? And it's a bunch of Eldar, but they have the Eldar guns, they have their weapons, but they're Exodites, so they have more of a primitive kind of look. Or maybe they have an older aesthetic, right? Pre-fall Eldar, right? And they look like that. They look like Eldar, which would be a combination of Dark Eldar and Craftworld Eldar. And that's, well, and Corsairs. I mean, like, Corsairs are kind of that, because Corsairs are drawn from Craftworld and Dark Eldar. So, you know, you have that mixture of the two in their design aesthetics. But yeah, just having Exodite Eldar, just introduce, people would lose their minds. People would lose their mind if you had Exodite Eldar in Necromunda. And why are they there? They've always been there. What? I never knew that, right? They're riding around the bugs. Ashwaste Nomads are running around. They're riding bugs. So why not, right? And, you know, I know everybody wants Exodites because they're riding around on dinosaurs, but that's just the old trope of them riding around dinosaurs. They can ride around anything, any crazy alien thing, right? And why not have them riding around on bugs? And hell, the Ashwaste Nomads, are they even human? Or are they half human, half Eldar? Oh, there we go, right? Are the Ashwaste Nomads, you know, mixture of Eldari and human DNA? Or are they something else, right? Who knows? Who even knows? You know, again, that's the fun. That's the fun of speculating about a lot of this stuff. Anywho, I think we'll end the stream there. It was a good reveal. And it was a good talk. We talked about damn near an hour. Now, we've only been talking for a little bit. But yeah. So anyway, I want to thank you guys for tuning in, joining me, and, you know, speculating. I thought the reveals were really awesome. Cities of Sigmar. That was amazing. The Manticore, amazing. Amazing. Would any of us got out of Warhammer Fantasy Battle if that was the level of sculpting that we were getting way back then? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think the game would have been going strong if that kind of level of work was going into the design of models. Yeah, definitely. Old World, New Bretonian Standard Bearer, fantastic. Warcry, Cruel Boys, Baboons, What's Not to Love? Underworlds, Skaven, new sculpts for Skaven, What's Not to Love? Epic, or Horse Heresy, the Night Titan in plastic. Yeah, he's cool. I mean, you know, whatever. I don't really get fired up for Imperial stuff, so, you know, whatever. But epic, or it's not epic. It's an epic scale. It's not heroic scale. It's epic scale. And, you know, what is it? Legion Imperialis? Is that what it's called? Legion Imperialis? Legions Imperialis? Anyway, the return of epic. Return of Space Marine. I guess really the equivalent is Space Marine. It's the old Space Marine game. Yeah. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. Yeah. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. I want to see what those models look like. I want to see the level of detail. I mean, in the pictures, they look really detailed. I mean, like, you could tell that's Mark 6 armor. I mean, the old versions of Space Marines were Mark 6 armor as well. And you could tell, but it was like that stereotypical shoulders and the pointy helmet, right? And that was it. You know, you could tell a Terminator because it was just bunchy, blocky things, right? You could see the detail, but maybe it was the paint jobs. But like on the bolt guns, I could see the ejection port. I think the old version of the Space Marines you could as well. I'm trying to think what the old Space Marine looks like. But anyway, yeah, this new version. But I mean, like, they're supposed to be a bit bigger. They're not the same scale. exciting. It's exciting stuff. I'm looking forward to it. Who knows when that big box comes out? I know plenty of people are probably going to pick it up and get into it because everybody who loves Horus Heresy would definitely get this. Everybody who bought into Aeronautica Imperialis and Titanicus are definitely going to get this, right? So it's a whole bunch of people. And now Titanicus, Aeronautica have something to bring them together. And I think that's really cool. I think that is really cool. And I think that's going to be the biggest draw for Legion Imperialis Epic is going to be because everybody who got Titanicus, everybody who got into Aeronautica now has the common playground that everybody can play in for the most part. All the Xenos players are still like, where's mine? That's me. I'm there. I'm with you. I'm Xenos player and I'm like, where's my shit? Like, you know, I'm sitting here, arms folded, and my foot is tapping. My foot's tapping. And I want to know where my shit is. Where's my shit, GW? Where's my shit? I know. War gamers are such a weird bunch, aren't they? bunch of man children. Well, I guess it's just children now, I suppose, right? Not just men, it's men and women, so. Anyway. Hiroki, still waiting for them to update Warp Spiders. Oh, I know. And I'm not holding my breath on that one. But yeah. All right, let's enjoy the rest of our Saturday. I got shit to do. And yeah. Oh yeah, I got videos to do. Holy shit. Yeah, I got more videos to post. So everybody who's watching this on YouTube, keep watching my channel because yeah, I got a bunch of unboxing videos to come out. So yeah, I did a bunch of unboxing for Blood Bowl. Dawnbringers today. It's Dawnbringers. Yeah, Dawnbringers. Let's do it.